Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Beloved and I'm back with a new recipe for the channel. Beloved Catering Service is a business where we make all kinds of cakes, butter cookies, shortbread cookies, coconut biscuits, sugar cookies, brownies, ring donuts, meat pies, samosa, spring rolls, and all kinds of fruit drinks and fruit juices, especially sobolo. We also make all local rice dishes and Ghanaian authentic dishes. We cater for all events and occasions and any form of gatherings. You can contact us with the information provided on your screen. In today's video, we are making fondant from scratch. This is also known as sugar paste. This video will comprise of two methods which you can use to achieve your fondant to cover your cakes. And C.M.C. We are going to mix every ingredient together until we achieve this beautiful ball right here. And that is the fondant which we use in covering our cakes and decorating our cakes to look as beautiful as possible. Ingredients for the fondant include 610 grams of icing sugar, which I have a recipe to on the channel where I made one at home, so you can check that out. We will also be using a tablespoon of vanilla essence, a tablespoon of water, 1 tablespoon of glucose, 1 egg white, a 1/4 tablespoon of powdered salt, our fondant mats, the fondant rod, 2 mixing bowls, and finally our hands. We will also be using some shape cutters and then our silicone mold right here. We will also be using C.M.C. Before that, I would be very happy if you could subscribe to my channel right now and then turn on your post and notification icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video onto the channel. And please share my videos with your friends and family. Please subscribe. To begin, we'll use a knife to crack a little bit of the shell of the egg and then pour it into our bowl that we'll be using for the mixing. We pour all the egg whites carefully so that the egg yolk doesn't mix with it. Then we add in the tablespoon of the glucose. And then mix with a whisk for 3 to 5 minutes, very fast or in a speedy motion. After that, we add in the tablespoon of water and then continue mixing for about 3 minutes as well. Then we introduce into the mix our vanilla essence, mix it together, and this will be our liquid base for the fondant making. When that is done, we'll pick our bowl containing the icing sugar, which we've already set aside 40 grams of the icing sugar from the one that we are about using. Then we pour into it a half tablespoon of the C.M.C, which we'll be using for the fondant. When that is added, we mix the C.M.C with our hands into the icing sugar, and then, mind you, we've already had the salt added to it. So we'll mix everything together with our hands and then pour into the middle parts the liquid mix that we just made. Now we use our hands to mix everything together in a circular motion until a paste starts to develop. At this point, we'll fold into the rest of the paste being formed, the particles that are still in the bowl, It will kind of be like a kneading process until everything comes together in the form of a ball. So when the mixing is ongoing and then it feels sticky that can't be moved anymore, we add in a little bit of the icing sugar and then continue kneading and folding. Since the mixing was becoming a bit difficult for me in the white bowl, we transferred it into the blue bowl to help the kneading continue. As the kneading is ongoing, I want to show you something. Look at my fingers very carefully. You notice that our fondant is being formed, so we continue the kneading until the proper thing that can be used to cover a cake is obtained. When we develop this kind of ball and then there are a few particles left, we'll pour it onto our fondant mat and then continue the kneading properly here. After continuous kneading and folding and pulling and pushing towards ourselves, we finally obtained our fondant. Look at this. As perfect as the store-bought ones that I usually use in my cake decoration. So to test it out to see if we've obtained what we want or what we can use to decorate a cake, I'm going to use our fondant rod to roll it out on the fondant mat as seen. I'll first sprinkle some sugar on it, which is the icing sugar, and then roll it to prevent it from sticking to the board. We'll turn it over and over until we roll it to the preferred thickness that I want, that I can also cut through. So this is how it looks like after rolling it out. You can see that it's just as perfect as the store-bought ones that I usually use. So to check it out to know if everything is okay, we are going to use our plastic star cutter here to cut out the star. After taking out the star that we just cut with our plastic cutter here, look at it, just as perfect as we want it to be. So we test it out again with the silicone mold here. So we place some of the fondant into the pattern that we want to create, press it down, and then use the knife to cut any excess off. Then we peel it out of the silicone mold, and this is how it looks like. So to show you how the pattern is exactly, I'm going to wrap it around this small bowl here, and look at how beautiful it is. This is the setup for the second part of the fondant making, or the second method, which we'll be using the mixer for. With the same method, we are going to add in the wet ingredients, mix them for about 2 minutes or 3 like we did earlier, and then add in the dry ingredients and then continue the mixing. All will be done with our mixer. To mix, we are going to use the paddle attachment and then mix all the wet ingredients together. Then we switch to our hook and then add in the dry ingredients. And we'll mix until everything combines. We'll be adding in the powdered sugar from time to time. And as I said earlier, I made this at home, so you can also do same by checking out my recipe on the channel, which I've also linked in the description box below. After a few minutes of mixing, this is how it looks like. So we are going to add in our powdered salt and then continue the mixing. And finally, our fondant has been obtained. This is by far the easiest method I can say, as compared to using your hands for the whole mixing. Using your hands is very tedious, I tell you. But using the machine is very convenient, so I would recommend the use of the machine instead. All the same, if you don't have the machine, you can still use your hands, just that the machine gets it done. Since we've obtained our fondant, we remove the bowl from the mixer and then spread some of the powdered sugar onto our fondant mat. Then pick everything from the bowl we used earlier and then place it on the fondant mat piece by piece. After everything has been poured onto the mat, we are going to bring it in and then fold it with our hands, as well as some of the icing sugar. So we fold the icing sugar in and then the fondant as well. We are trying to make it easy for use for covering the cake. So we are going to knead and fold in towards ourselves until we obtain a smooth usable fondant. So this is how it looks like after several minutes of folding and kneading. You can see that it's just as the one that we made earlier with our hands. The only difference is that since this was made by a machine, it's much smoother and very easy to knead and fold as compared to the one that was made with our hands earlier. So these are the three fondants. The first one, which is very whitish, is the one we made with the hand mixer. The second one is the one we made with our hands, and the last one, which is the smallest, is the store-bought ones. I just used the sample for you to see. It's just as equal as that. To preserve it, we'll put it in some plain rubber, wrap it tightly, and then place it into one of our previous fondant containers, which is a better storage, or any other transparent bowl or bowl that can be kept in a dry cool place until however long you want to use it. You can keep this for up to a year and it won't get destroyed. We'll also use it to test out this cake, which we've already assembled and crumb coated here. And this is how it looks like. So this is our fondant or our sugar paste recipe, our sugar paste we made from scratch. You can check it out by trying this same recipe at home and then give me feedback on how it was in the comment section. Remember that if you want to make 2 batches of this, meaning you have to double the recipe, 3 batches, you have to also triple the recipe, depending on the quantity you want to cover your cake. That is how much you would also do. And this is where today's video ends. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a point to watch all our new videos this and every Thursday and Sunday for wholesome content and amazing recipes you can try with your friends and family. This year, I would like you to try every recipe that we post on the channel and then give me feedback in the comment section. Also, don't forget to turn on your post notification icon with the inscription all, so that every Thursday and Sunday if we post new videos, and we post short videos from Monday to Sunday, so you can check that out as well. Follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and here on YouTube by subscribing. Help us to grow this channel. Till we meet again, dear viewers. Bye bye.